I still hear her scream sometimes. That night, when the drum stopped and everyone ran out into the dark, her voice cut through the air like something alive. My name is Favor. I was born in a small village near the river, where the moon looked big enough to touch. My mother died when I was 10. I still remember her hands, soft and warm, always smelling of wood smoke and palm oil. For years, it was just me and my father. He was a kind man, quiet, always working. He did everything he could to take care of me. But people whispered that a man shouldn't live alone for too long. So, after some time, he remarried. At first, I was happy. I thought maybe life would feel normal again. My new stepmother came with 2 daughters. They were about my age. I thought we would be like sisters. But from the first day, something felt wrong. Her smiles never reached her eyes. When my father was home, she was sweet, calling me my dear and acting gentle. But once he left for the market trips that kept him away for days, everything changed. She gave all the work to me. I fetched water, cooked food, washed clothes, cleaned the compound. Her daughters just sat in the shade, painting their nails with red dye and laughing. If I was slow, she would pour water on the floor I just cleaned and tell me to start over. Once, she even locked the kitchen so I couldn't eat until the next morning. I wanted to tell my father, but she always stood beside him, smiling like nothing was wrong. I didn't want him to think I was causing trouble. So, I stayed quiet. One afternoon, the village began to buzz with excitement. The prince from the neighboring village was coming for the moon festival. Everyone said he was looking for a wife. Girls began to prepare days ahead. They oiled their skin, braided their hair, borrowed fine wrappers from aunties. When I asked if I could go, my stepmother laughed in my face. She said, "Who will look at a girl who smells like firewood? Stay home and wash the pots." That night, when they left for the festival, I sat outside near the fire, listening to the drums far away. I cried quietly so no one would hear me. Then I heard someone call my name. It was an old woman, small, bent, her eyes bright like fireflies. She held a clay pot and leaned on a stick. I didn't know her. "Why are you crying, child?" she asked. I told her everything about my stepmother, the chores, how I wished I could go to the festival, just once, to dance. She nodded slowly and said, "Go to the river. Wash yourself. On the rock by the water, you will find what you need." I blinked, and she was gone. I don't know what pushed me, but I ran to the river. The moonlight was bright, and the water was still. On the rock sat a folded wrapper, shining like it was made of light. I touched it, it was warm. I put it on. When I looked at my reflection in the water, I almost didn't recognize myself. My skin glowed, my hair shone, and my eyes sparkled like stars. I went to the festival. The music was loud, people were dancing, laughing. When I entered the crowd, everyone turned. The prince saw me and stopped mid-step. He came straight to me and asked for a dance. His hand was soft, not rough like other men's. He asked where I was from. I told him I lived nearby. He said I looked familiar, like someone from a dream. We danced until the moon went behind the clouds. When I realized my stepmother might see me, I ran away. In my rush, I dropped one of my bracelets, the one my real mother gave me before she died. The next morning, the prince sent word that he was searching for the girl whose bracelet he had found. He said he would marry her. My stepmother heard this and dressed her daughters in their best clothes. She even rubbed powder on their faces to make them shine. She told me to stay inside and scrub the floor. When the prince arrived, she pushed her daughters forward. But when he tried the bracelet on them, it didn't fit. Then I came out, still holding the wet rag. The prince saw me, smiled, and said, "It's you." He slid the bracelet onto my wrist, it fit perfectly. Everything went quiet. My stepmother's face turned pale. She fell to her knees, begging, saying it was all a misunderstanding. But people had heard stories about how she treated me. They shouted that she should be punished. The prince's guards tied her hands and took her away. That night, as they led her out of the compound, she looked back at me. Her eyes were wide, not angry, just terrified, and then she screamed. It wasn't a normal scream. It sounded like something tearing apart inside her. The drums stopped. The dogs barked. The wind blew cold. Since that night, people say that when someone mistreats a child, they hear that same scream, carried by the wind through the trees. I don't know if that's true. But when the wind blows hard at night, and the fire starts to flicker, I hear it too. And I swear, it sounds just like her.